Hey guys, Totally Dubbed here, and today I'm going to make a review of the EX700 by Sony. This is the highest earphones that they do at the moment, and so I just want to make a review. There are a lot of fakes out there, just for warning, so please do buy from an authorized dealer or from someone you can trust, like on Headfire or whatever. You don't want to buy fakes and then say, oh, these are crap or blah blah blah. Apply with the 500 as well, or any Sennheiser in the CX range. There's quite a lot of fakes out there, so just watch out what you buy, guys. Just first of all, just pointing it out there, because people were like, "Oh no, I've got 700s, they're absolutely crap," But if you aim for the 700s and you're kind of an audiophile, then you'd know. So let's start off. First of all, the case. The case isn't bad, but I personally find it a little bit too big. I love the pivoting function. It's quite nice, and everything will be stored. But I don't know. I won't be using the case. I just never do, and well, it's a nice case for people which would use it, so it's good, but it could be a bit minimized, could be there. I mean, I don't really need to like preserve it so big. I mean, like in comparison to my Denons 751s, the ones you can see there, they've got a tiny carrying pouch, and I mean, you compare the size, it is just so much nicer to carry on, and it's a hard case as well, so nothing's going to happen to them. But anyway, that's that. So it's got leather finish, it's quite nice, with Sony brand on it. In fact, loads of people have problem fitting earphones, and Sony have done a great job here and provided you with a huge selection of tips. It's good that they've selected all these tips, but the only problem with these tips is the fact that they're all silicone and they're all the same. This is not really good, because if you have a tendency of having a bit of earwax in your ear, as disgusting as that sounds, but if you have it or you're sweating, whatever, silicone tips don't really stay in your ear properly. So it's nice that Sony have provided such a big range of earbuds, but it would be nicer if they had provided different foam tips, possibly like the Shores or the Westones, just their competitors out there, Ultimate Ears. So it would be nice if they did that as well. So the tips is it could be seen as a good point if you like silicone tips, or then again as a negative if you don't. Now we'll move on to the plug. Well, the plug is perfect. It seems to be nice, sturdy, and a very long jack, and gold plated. So yeah, full marks on there. However, moving on to the wire now, as you can see on the EX500s in the background there, let's move these out of the way. You can see that I had to tape it up. This was after like a year and a bit of use, and unfortunately, the wiring of the EX500 and the EX700s are practically identical. In fact, I don't know even if they are different at all. I mean, they look exactly the same. It's just that obviously the plug's a little bit different, but except for that, as you can see that, except for that, I mean, even there, I would think the EX500 has more flexibility, whereas the EX700s don't. So for a cord, for earphones which are retailed on Sony for £230 and on Amazon for £140, the cord is a big letdown for me, because in reality I can see them working for another year or two until cord starts breaking, and I'm quite cautious with my technology. So it's kind of disappointing that Sony didn't even think that through. In terms of sound, now this is the biggest thing, the sounds of the EX700s. Now there's been a lot of controversy about the 700s. They haven't been proven to be that popular on the Head-Fi community, or any audiophile, should I say, community, just because, well, there have been a lot of people saying about harsh treble and the treble being too loud or whatever. I mean, I came from, well, the Sony sort of background, so I guess I might be kind of branded in some ways into that Sony way, and it's sort of knowing how they sound and getting used to it, like that sound signature. Personally, I think the 700s show a great detailed bass, nice deep pronounced bass which isn't too overwhelming, unlike the Denons over here, and yet have a lovely crystal clear treble in there, so you'll hear everything in the music, and everything will be there. Unlike the 500s, where in some ways you can say that the sounds are jumbled up. where the 700s, you haven't got that. All the sounds are kind of more detailed, more pronounced. A good way of describing the 700 is precise. Good way of describing the 500s is could be better, but do a great job for the price point. The Denons, overwhelming bass, not as pronounced treble or high end. Mids and highs are not as pronounced in comparison to the Sonys. So yeah, what do I think of them in terms of sound? I actually love them. I've actually fallen in love with them. I actually bought these for a friend. I bought them for a friend, got them in, tried them on. As soon as I put them on, they had pre-burnt 20-30 hours on them. Put them on, I was just blown away. The bass was so nice, so deep. All the instruments were there. It was quite clear. It wasn't overwhelming of any sort. And the EX500s, it felt like there was something missing. It's like, it's hard to explain. It's like having a 2.1 and then upgrading to a 5.1 and then knowing the difference of the speakers either way and like left, right, center, and rear of you. Whereas this 500 feels like there's only 2 speakers coming. That's a good way of explaining it. Now moving on to comfort. The comfort of the EX700s is well, they're great. You can hardly feel them in your ear, and as I said, you can put them over the ear. Actually, I haven't said that. I said that in the unboxing video. Sorry. You can put them over the ear, which isn't bad. However, even just putting them in ear, just normally, they're absolutely great. They're actually comfortable. You can't really feel them. There's the microphonics. There are none. Basically, the wiring is quite good in terms of that. It doesn't make any noise, or it's not heavy of any sort like the Denons, for example. All in all, it checks out. Everything checks out. In terms of tips, I would personally, as I said, the silicone tips are not my favourite, so I use the T400s from Comply, or the TX400, which I've currently got on order from Amazon. And that's what I would suggest in terms of tips. They stay in your ear better. Okay, it does collect a bit more wax than normal silicone tips, but you'll get a better fit. So I would suggest doing that. It's an extra £10–15, but it's well worth it in my opinion. Although there's a love-hate relationship for Complys across the community, across the world, should I say. But I personally love Complys. In terms of look, I really like them. They look professional to me. That's what they shout out. They don't scream, "Oh, look at me." They sort of shout out, "I'm professional. I can do the job." Now, the most important thing now. How is this going to affect your wallet? Well, they go for around £140 brand new. I got them used, so I got them cheaper, but they weren't that much used. But I personally got a great deal on them. But £140 is really what I should be aiming at in terms of price points. I had the Westone 2s, which are about £200, and actually you can buy them for £150 currently. Do I think they compete with the Westone 2s? Yes. In fact, I actually think they beat the Westone 2s. I might get slandered for this, but or flamed on me even, but I really think that these are what the Westone 2s were missing. Deep bass. Only problem is the wiring. That's the only thing that would let it down. And it's £10 cheaper, in fact, or £10–20 cheaper than the Westones. However, you only get a 1-year warranty on these, whereas on the Westones you get 2 years. I think it's 1 year on these, but I'm pretty sure that's what really happened with the EX500s. So, price point, it's not bad, but would I really pay £140, sorry, in comparison to the EX500s? No, I would pay about £90 to £100, and the EX500s are brilliant at their price point. Under £50 is what I would pay. So price-wise, not really good. But then again, when you come in the earphone market, you gotta expect that. The higher end you go, I mean, you get Westone 3s for £330 for God's sake. And are they really worth it? In my opinion, no. Maybe probably £250. So that really depends on you. But personally, I think they're a good buy. Well, at least for me, I got a decent price. But even at £140, I would have been pleased, so to speak, with them. In comparison to my Westone 2s, in comparison to my 751s, upgrade as the EX500s, and in comparison to Super 5.4s, and in comparison to the Metro-Fi 220s. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please do rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye bye.